Good morning, everybody. Matt Moda here to give you my favorite NBA player prop picks for today. We're talking Thursday, December 4th. The Splash Zone is back in your life. I'm going to have 3 NBA player prop picks for you guys to lock in for today's NBA betting slate, all 3 of which are plus money bangers, of course, because that's what I try to do more often than not on this YouTube channel. But before we get into that, we got to do a recap from yesterday, which was another amazing day. I cannot stress how good it feels to have a extended success. There we go. Words are hard. Extended success on these NBA player props. The first month of the year just made me want to blow my brains out. The last 3 days have been fantastic. That continued yesterday. Swept the board yesterday. Won all 3 of these player props. Donovan Mitchell, 30 plus points. Thank you. Alperen Şengün had me in the first half, not going to lie. I think he had 8 points at halftime. He came through with a ton of garbage time points. We'll take it. Plus 177 cash on that bad boy. Giddey also had me in the first half. I'm not going to lie. We had him 10 plus assists. He had 3 in the first half. I also mentioned that I liked a triple-double ladder on Josh Giddey. That came through as well. So people tailed that. Obviously, I'm not going to track plays that I thought looked good. But that one came through. The assists up almost 4 units yesterday, 3.98 units. This actually continues an absolutely ridiculous run that we have been on the last 3 days. This includes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, have been fantastic. I've won 8 of my last 9 NBA player props in this stretch. We're up 8.44 units. Feels incredible. We went 2-1 back on Monday. Then we swept the board Tuesday. We swept the board yesterday. It feels very, very good to have this level of success. Now, the unfortunate reality is basically right before this hot stretch, I lost 10 straight NBA player props. 10 straight. The unfortunate reality is I started off the year losing 6 straight NBA player props. So I have not been able to bring myself back into the green on the year. It feels gross to say, considering how good it has been recently. We're still down 9 units on the year. Now, I'm not going to pretend that it's anything differently. I'm still going to recap and give you the yearly profit every single video because it's unfair to do anything else. But it's been very, very, very good recently. So hopefully we are able to continue that today with the 3 plays that we are on. And let's get right into it. So 3 plays. It's a weird slate. Warriors, Sixers with no Steph Curry. Embiid is doubtful. There's a ton of injury stuff on the Sixers, which makes it really hard to try and play this game at all. I do, however, have 2 plays in this Celtics-Wizards game. The first one is Marvin Bagley. I took him on the rebounds. Now, you're going to look at this and say, what the heck is wrong with you? He's hit this in 2 of 16 games this year. But there's a very, very important, big, juicy but from this sentence, and there is no Alex Sarr. You look at games without Alex Sarr, suddenly it becomes a 2 out of 3 hit rate. So the only 2 games in which he has recorded 8 rebounds, guess what? Alex Sarr missed those 3 games. And in these 3 games, there's a ton to like about it. Right off the bat, he's hit 8 rebounds in 2 of them. The one game he missed, he had 7 rebounds. That's pretty good. But you look even deeper than that. What I like in the first game, 31 minutes, 20 rebound chances. Fantastic. The next game, 29 minutes, 14 rebound chances. That's good. The next game, 26 minutes, 16 rebound chances. So he's playing 26 minutes at a minimum. And if you look at him this year, literally the only games in which he's even played 20 minutes are these games in which Alex Sarr has missed. He's also had at a minimum 14 rebound chances in every single game. Well, if you look at this, how often has he had at a minimum 14 rebound chances? Guess what? It's only these 3 games. So you cannot look at the entire year for Bagley because it's just remarkably different when Alex Sarr is not playing. So I think that we're able to get a little bit of a value because the books haven't quite caught up to this injury news. The price here, you can get even money plus 100 at Bet365. If not, minus 105 at Hard Rock is fine. No issues there. So that's what I like in terms of like the increased usage based on injury. The matchup is average. There's some good, some average. You hover over the matchup here, and this is one cool thing you can do on Props Madness. You look at the Celtics, in terms of total rebounds allowed, they're average. They play at a super slow pace, which doesn't help rebound accumulation. But In terms of rebounds allowed to centers, which that is what the D rank versus position means, 10th most. So they're a decent matchup for centers for rebound props. The reason why is because they give up a ton of offensive rebounds. And I actually think that's pretty important because if you look at Bagley and how he's been able to get these rebounds, 4 offensive rebounds, 6 offensive rebounds, 3 offensive rebounds. So he's been able to get 7, 8 rebounds, mostly by crashing the offensive glass, which I think is what he's going to be able to successfully do against the Celtics. I mean, you look at this roster, who is rebounding? Who's a good rebounder on the Celtics? Not Keita, not Hauser, not Josh Minette, whatever. Jaylen Brown is most likely out for this game, which we're going to talk about. So I think that there's a good value on Marvin Bagley to get A+ boards. I like this one a lot. Next up, we're actually sticking in the same game here, and we're taking Peyton Pritchard. We're taking him on the assists. I was able to get him over 6.5 at +110 odds at Bet365. You can also get +108 at both FanDuel and DraftKings, which I'm still good with. As long as you're getting plus money, like even if you are getting even money +100 or above, I'm good with. This is a very, very similar situation to Marvin Bagley, where you cannot look at the entire season's hit rate and averages and all that stuff and make any decisions. The biggest thing here is that it is very, very unlikely that Jaylen Brown plays. He's listed as doubtful. He's got an illness. The Celtics are playing tomorrow, so this is the front leg of a back-to-back. So why risk playing Jaylen Brown against the lowly Wizards when you can rest him and have him play tomorrow, which I'm pretty sure is against the Lakers. Let's see if that game is up here. The game for tomorrow. I believe they play the Lakers, if I remember correctly. I guess, well, whatever. It's not showing up here. That's fine. But regardless, it doesn't matter. The Celtics, they're not going to have Jaylen Brown, is the point I'm trying to make here. Now, Jaylen Brown has yet to miss a game this year, right? Games without Jaylen Brown, 0. So we don't have any game data to go off of. What we can go off of are on-off stats according to Fantasy Labs. I'm just putting Peyton Pritchard on. I'm putting Jaylen Brown off. And there's a couple things that I want to show you here. Right off the bat, assist rate, 31.4%. The highest assist rate on the team by far. The next, like Xavier Tillman technically is second, but that's in 7 minutes. Derek White is the only one that's even close, and he's like 9 percentage points below Peyton Pritchard. I want to also show you the differences. So when Jaylen Brown is off the court, again, take out Xavier Tillman because it's such a low sample size. When Jaylen Brown is off the court, Peyton Pritchard's assist rate goes up by 10%. So it's a pretty dramatic difference when Jaylen Brown is off. That obviously makes a ton of sense because Jaylen Brown, I mean, he's been awesome this year, but he's an ISO player. You're not getting a ton of assisted buckets to Jaylen Brown. So when he's off the floor, yeah, the ball moves a little bit more quickly. And Peyton Pritchard is kind of the true point guard of this Celtics team. Technically, Derek White averages more assists, but that's not Derek White's role. When Pritchard is on the court with no Jaylen Brown, he's running the point. And the matchup is fantastic. I mean, it's the Wizards. They have a good matchup for basically everything, but you hover over this matchup. Assists allowed, second most. Assist rank for his assist zone, where he gets the majority of his assists. Third most. That's the above the break 3-pointer. He also gets another 27% at the restricted area. Fourth worst defense there. These assists right here are mostly to Jaylen Brown mid-ranges. Like if he is getting any of the assists, that's where it is. He's not going to get a ton of those because it's like layups and threes against the Wizards. That's fine. That's perfect for the Celtics, who love to take a ton of 3-pointers. And in terms of assists allowed to point guards, well, according to Fantasy Pros, second most. According to #NBA, and this is over the last month, so I want to look at like what's recent data telling us. Assists allowed to the point guard position. The Wizards are here allowing the 5th most. So still top 5. That's what we're looking for, is anything in the top 5 in terms of being a really good matchup. So it's one of those things, same with Marvin Bagley, where I think we're able to get a good price because of the injury news. Now, the books are obviously taking into account the injury news. That's why Peyton Pritchard is at 6.5 instead of his normal line, which is like 4.5, right? The books are taking that into account. But I still think we're able to get some value on getting him at 10 plus to record 7 assists. And it's the same thing with Marvin Bagley. So those are my first 2 plays, both in the Celtics-Wizards game. Next up, we're heading here to Jazz-Nets. This is another one that's going to feel scary that I really, really like. And I did a ton of research on this one. It's Isaiah Collier, but it's on his assists. Now, you could get over 4.5 for -117. I ended up playing this 6 plus for plus 148 on FanDuel. And I honestly don't think it's that crazy if you want to take him 7 plus on Bet365, which is like plus 250. I don't think that's crazy, but I'm only looking at and locking in and officially tracking the 6 plus. Now, it's the tale of two halves for Isaiah Collier. He's played 6 games this year, or excuse me, he's played 12 games this year. Now you can kind of take out the first game because that was his return, literally his first game back from injury. He returned on November 7th. So if we look at we look at the last 11 games, it's 6 of 11 in the tale again of two halves. He hit it in his first 5 straight. Now he's missed it in 5 of his last 6. But you look into these 6 games. Now there's some concerning trends, which are his minutes. 14 minutes against the Thunder, 12 minutes against the Rockets, 17 minutes again against the Rockets. But we see 21 minutes against the Warriors and 23 against the Lakers. So that is not terrible. His assist rate is ridiculous when he's on the floor. So even in 20 minutes, he can get 6 assists. What I want to show you here is the defensive net rating. Collier is not somebody that you're going to rely on 30 plus minutes night in and night out, but he does cook in the juicy matchups. You look at these 6 games in which he's only gone over in 1 of them. Among the best defenses in the NBA, the Rockets twice, defensive net rating, 2nd. The Thunder once, defensive net rating, 1st. The only below average defense that he played was the Lakers, where yes, he only had 3 assists. He had 14 potential assists. We will gladly take 14 potential assists when we need someone to convert 6 of them. And then the actual really bad defense was the Kings. Guess what? 7 assists on 15 potential assists, played 24 minutes. That's exactly what you're looking for. And if you look at these first 5 games, guess what? Mostly against soft defenses. It was one matchup again against the Lakers, but then it was the Bulls, bottom 10 defense. The Hawks, who actually, they are the only good defense that he went over against. Still played 25 minutes in this game, so that's pretty good. The Pacers, who defense stinks this year, and the Timberwolves, whose defense is average. But if you look at games this year against teams in the bottom half in terms of defensive net rating, he's played 5 games. He's gone 6 or more assists in 4 of those 5 games. That's good. The only one he missed, he still had 14 potential assists. That's good. And look at his minutes in these games. He's averaging 26.4 minutes per game in these 5 games. You want to look at teams in the top half of defensive net rating. So basically the opposite of what we were just looking at instead of the bottom half, the top half. Guess what? 7 games, only gone over in 2 of those 7 games. And his minutes are all the way down to 18.7. It's like 8 more minutes per game when he's playing a bad defense. I think that makes sense for someone like Isaiah Collier, who you want him to cook these juicy matchups. And yeah, guess who he's playing? Your Brooklyn Nets. Assists allowed, top 6th most. Assists allowed to the guard position, top 5. They've allowed the 6th most. Defensive net rating, 3rd worst in the NBA. They are a fantastic matchup for assist props. We just targeted Josh Giddey, who's technically the Bulls point guard. He runs the point for them, who came through with a triple-double against them. So, I mean, Collier, the official play here, is on 6 plus assists. I think taking him up to 7 is a very, very good look. But we'll just rock with these 3 plays. And this is all we got. So with Collier, 6 plus assists. Peyton Pritchard, over 6.5 assists. Marvin Bagley, 8 plus rebounds, plus money on all 3 of these. A little bit of a weirder card, but it's a little bit of a weirder slate. So hopefully it comes through for us. In terms of leans, the really only one that I looked at was in this Wolves-Pelicans game, and it was going to Jeremiah Fears. Zion's out. Jordan Poole is still out. He has gone over his point prop of 15.5 in 6 of 10 games. He's averaging 17 points per game. He's got a decent matchup against a Timberwolves defense that guards pretty poorly. You look at them, opponent D rank versus position, they're bottom 10. In terms of his play type, pick and roll ball handler, they're the worst. In terms of transition, his second play type, they're the 8th worst. Good versus spot up, but they foul at a decent amount. The only reason why I held off on this play is because these 2 teams just played and the game went into overtime and he scored 21 points. This has the makings of the Timberwolves winning by 40 points and he only plays 20 minutes because of a blowout. So that's why I held off. The other games were stayaways, like this Lakers game. No RJ Barrett on the Raptors side. No Luka Doncic on the Lakers side. If you want to go LeBron assists, that's not a terrible look. But 7.5 at -132 is pretty stinky. He's only ever hit this in his first 2 games this year against among the worst defenses in the NBA, and the Raptors defense is good. Now, Jakob Poeltl is also out for this game, so maybe it's a little bit of an easier matchup, but still a little bit scary. You could go Austin Reeves, who's cooked in games without Luka this year, but LeBron did not also play in these games, and 29.5 for +104 I don't think is great value, which is why I held off on that. So just rocking with these 3 plays. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Make sure to bet responsibly, and have a good one.